Hello. Today, there's a whiff of celebration in the air, with the self-portraits commemorating everything from pregnancies to milestone birthdays.
But will today's painting challenge be a moment they want to remember?
We'll know the answer in about 4 hours. Welcome to a brand new series of Portrait Artist of the Year.
Over the past 8 series, more than 10,000 artists from across Britain and Ireland have applied to compete in Portrait Artist of the Year. And from these hopefuls, we've had 8 accomplished winners.
I can't quite believe it. How did that happen?
Their talents were rewarded with £10,000 commissions for esteemed institutions, producing portraits of famous faces.
I'm so blown away.
I think it's amazing. I want it.
This life-changing prize is once again up for grabs. Painting the portrait of actor and broadcaster Sir Lenny Henry for the National Portrait Gallery in London.
As always, their work will be judged by independent curator Kathleen Soriano, award-winning artist Ty-Shan Scherenberg, and art historian Kate Bryan.
Here we are again, and we've got a phenomenal group of artists. The calibre just gets better and better. I cannot wait.
Now, with so much at stake...
Geez, my heart is racing.
So much to do, not enough time.
Who will be next?
The winner of Portrait Artist of the Year is... Taking part in today's heat, we have Julie Wright, a former art director in advertising from London; Darren Kearney, a professional artist living in South Tyneside; Nathan Lowry, a 2D animator from Dublin; Morag Keister, a Brighton-based professional artist; and Ruby Hagan from the Wirral, who is studying for her A-levels.
It's quite intimidating. I'm like addicted to the TV show, so it's really surreal just to be here.
Also joining us are Preslav Kostov, an illustration graduate and artist from London; Steve Bennett, a Leeds-based graphic designer; Anne Blankson-Hemans, a professional artist who lives in Cumbria; and Maud White, a London-based GP and mum of 1.
It's quite exciting. I've seen the other people's self-portrait and they're all so beautiful, so I'm very nervous and I hope I can paint.
As the artists settle in, the judges take a closer look at today's self-portrait submissions.
Judges, another wall as varied and talented as you could wish. Let's start at the beginning.
It's so beautifully rendered. Just the touch and the detail in the still life behind that. It's just very beautifully constructed.
What I love about it the most is the shock of white hair with the light on it in the middle.
I think what's really great about it is that in the foreground, she paints herself really realistically, and then everything kind of disintegrates as you get further into the back.
Well, you have to be confident to do such a small-scale piece as this.
It's just so well constructed. We get no detail, but it's absolutely readable, and you get a real sense of the head.
We've seen this artist before. She's got this incredible sense of perspective with the knees raised.
And there's a roughness to the way that the paint goes down, but because the drawing is so kind of alive, the whole thing hangs together so well. And this is such a great little painting. It fizzes with energy.
It's very geometric. It almost descends into cubism in the legs and the way in which they're painted.
I just love the way the head is so sharp compared to the body, but it all works as one. And the expression is just fabulous. It's just a really lovely piece of drawing.
I like the focus, or rather the lack of focus.
The gesture, the hand, and the expression are all bewildered.
He looks as if he's trying to decide which picture he's going to put into the competition.
It's hard to read a face that is on its side, so we're having to turn our heads round.
There's this playful quality, but then also the way that she's looking at you, it's not really messing around.
Well, this obviously relates to the pandemic.
The way that it's painted is so sort of scrubby and slight that you can't help but love it.
It's a very beautiful mask. It looks like it's made of silver.
So now you've got to go out there and meet the artist and see if you recognise them. Won't be wearing a mask. She won't be in a box. Good luck.
With materials laid down and pre-painting rituals observed, the artists are now ready to meet today's sitters. Artists, if it all goes wrong today, then don't worry. This podcaster and best-selling author knows all about how to fail. Please welcome Elizabeth Day. Hello, have a seat. This is your home for the day.
This is so nice.
Are you going to be OK with being stared at for 4 hours?
Well, we'll find out. It's quite rare to get a chance just to sit and be at one with one's own psyche.
So we asked you to bring in an object that meant something to you. What's that there?
I have brought my grandfather's cigarette case, and you can see his initials are inscribed there, WH. It holds a very special place in my heart.
So it's there for your use if you want it.
Absolutely. Great.
All right, good luck.
Artist, your sitter not only has one of the most recognisable voices in broadcasting, but his famous face also graces your screens in everything from Celebrity Gogglebox to Channel 4's Great Home Transformation. It's Nick Grimshaw.
Hi, guys. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Hi. Welcome.
How are you?
And you are not alone.
I am not. I've brought my +1. This is Stinky Blob.
Oh, right. So this is a double challenge.
Yeah, I've got 2 dogs, and he's the one that's better at... Well, saying that, he's the one that's better at sitting, as you can tell. I'm just going to put him down. He won't bite anybody.
So you're going to sit here all day. How can you bear it?
I mean, I don't know. I have a really terrible attention span, and I can't keep still at the best of times.
Right, we'll have to pin you down.
Yeah, pinned to this chair, please.
Right.
Hi, Stinks. I've never, ever seen this active in his life.
So, it's your day. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much.
Your sitter may well bring you luck today because she's used to beating the odds. She's a jockey who won the Magnolia Cup only months after first getting on a racehorse. Please welcome the inspiring Kada Mela.
Hi.
Have a seat. Nick Grimshaw brought a very excitable dog, so I was half expecting you to come around the corner with a horse. But luckily you didn't. But you look amazing.
Thank you very much.
Talk us through your outfit.
So I'm wearing an abaya, which is a traditional Islamic dress, a keffiyeh, which is an Arab cultural scarf, and I've got my helmet that I rode in for the Magnolia Cup.
And what's that next to you?
So that's the silk that I wore during the race.
It's magnificent, and it gives them plenty to paint. So, Khadija's going to be wearing a helmet. I think the one thing I would say is just because of the peak of the hat, if you could just make sure your chin is up. Great. I'll leave you to it.
Artists, I hope you're ready. You have 4 hours to complete your portraits. Good luck to each one of you. Your time starts now.
Could I ask you to hold it?
Yeah, I polished it especially.
I have one small request. I've got a tiny amount of green eye makeup because I'm from Algeria and Kenya, and it's the only colour that they share in the flag.
You like the green on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, he's so cute.
The preliminary stages of a portrait can allow an artist to ease into their work, with many covering their canvas with a coloured ground, or spending time on compositional sketches. But one artist is wasting no time getting stuck into the detail.
Ruby, hi. I mean, it's extraordinary. You got the likeness already.
Thank you.
How are you doing? Are you happy with your sitter?
I made up with my sister. I was terrified there'd be someone that I didn't know, and I just had to be like, yay!
Now, Stinky, have you painted animals before?
I did a practice one where I painted my own with my dog.
That's fabulous.
Telling you,
Covered
I haven't put a paintbrush down for about 5 weeks.
17-year-old Ruby Hagan is a student from the Wirral and today's youngest competitor. Her self-portrait in acrylic was painted over 2 weeks whilst Ruby had COVID-19, with the box representing her emergence back into the world after her period of isolation.
There's a lot of colour here.
Yeah. I've got a load of new bright colours, so I'm really excited for them.
What about the colour behind him?
Oh, I think I'm going to have it this kind of lime greeny colour that I've got going.
How did you get that?
I've kind of made the saturation and the vibrancy up.
That looks fantastic. When you change that to that green, it makes him look glowing and healthy. Well, look, I'm kind of intrigued. I'm expecting great things.
Thank you.
How do you feel, Anne? I can tell you right away that you positioned it perfectly.
Oh, great.
It's absolutely right.
I like the fact that you've got that mannequin there with the shirt on it. I want to put that in as well, but it's going to wreck my composition if I do.
Yeah.
And I love the geometric shapes as well. This is right up my street.
Well, you know your strengths. That's good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cumbrian-based Anne Blankson-Hemans works as a professional artist. She enjoys capturing her subjects at work and painted her self-portrait in oils to commemorate her 60th birthday.
Your submission was very complicated, and this is altogether different.
It is, yeah, but you get what you're given.
Well, you could have done all sorts of retreating pictures of her.
In 4 hours.
Oh, I forgot about the 4 hours. And you brought a little...
I brought Rocky. He's my little mascot. He goes everywhere with me. Yeah,
so he brings you luck?
He does, yeah.
Well, you're making a good start. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, June.
So today I'm doing a dry point print. So it's etching into plastic and then printing from that to create an image. I do like the fact that once you've obviously made a mark, you can't take it back. You either have to continue or you have to abandon. But luckily, I'm the only one who knows what it should look like.
Steve Bennett is a graphic designer from Huddersfield. He took up dry point etching just 3 months ago, drawn to the order of the process and the unpredictability of the results.
Steve, are you having trouble deciding which way Elizabeth should look? Because you've got a sketch, she's looking that way.
Yeah, and then this one, she's looking this way.
What's happening?
It has to be a mirror image, and I foolishly got a bit too excited, forgot to flip it.
You forgot to flip it?
Exactly.
And were you pleased to see Elizabeth?
No, I was hoping for a wrinkly old man, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
To get the smooth areas of a pretty lady is a lot harder, because the more information you put in, the more wrinkly they're going to look.
Right, well, I will let you get on with the Elizabeth Day that's looking to the left.
Let's hope this one works.
Let's hope so.
Nearly done blocking it in. Probably about the time that I should get my glasses out. I'm in a bit of the denial with the glasses situation, but it's actually quite helpful at the beginning because you can just see like the rough shapes, and then when I need to start bringing the HD in, I'll put them on.
Bulgarian-born Preslav Kostov is currently studying for a master's degree in painting at the Royal College of Art. His self-portrait took 3 hours and was painted to mark the so-called Day of Freedom in July 2021, when COVID-19 restrictions were lifted in England.
Preslav, it feels slightly louche. Is that the feel you're going for?
I wasn't really going for any particular feel. I'm more like looking at the shapes, almost treating them as abstract.
So presumably seeing him as abstract is helped by the fact that you've not got your glasses on.
Yeah, it's a little bit blurry at the minute, but that's to my benefit. A likeness isn't always about getting it exactly right. The way he sits, like little bits like that kind of bring about likeness.
OK. I noticed it almost in the shoulders. It feels like there's quite a lot of character there.
Yeah, that's quite idiosyncratic. I trust that if I get the mannerism right, it will sit true to nature.
So calm, so relaxed, so confident.
Probably just surface level.
The artists have been working for almost 1 hour.
And do you always paint this quick?
Yes, because otherwise you'd spend too much time faffing around trying to get it right, and we've only got 4 hours.
Yeah, we don't have a faffing window, unfortunately, on this programme.
Yeah. So I've painted most of the face in. I'm essentially painting the skin neon, but I feel like I've done like enough of each different colour that will kind of balance out and look skin tony. So we'll see how that goes.
The etching is based on the drawing I'm doing now, so I need to get that as accurate as I can. I'm always confident when I start out. It's whether I can maintain that for 4 hours, really.
An hour has passed since our artist began painting Elizabeth Day, Khadija Mela, Nick Grimshaw and honorary sitter, Stinky Blob.
Hello, Stink.
And whilst an energetic subject can be a gift to artists, it can pose problems for those working from life.
I'm still drawing. Well, this is my third drawing now. I tried to put Stinky in earlier, but then it meant that Nick's face is like squished in the side of the canvas, so I'm quite behind. My mind is a bit like blah.
London-based Maud White works as a GP, but has also studied painting at the Florence Academy of Art. She spent 4 months creating her delicate self-portrait in charcoal, using it to celebrate her role both as a doctor and soon-to-be mother.
One of the things in your self-portrait is that you love light and the way light falls. Are you going to be looking for that today?
Yeah, I love this angle because it's got quite a lot of light on one side and then the other side's in the shadow.
You're really, really looking at him, and every time he's in a different position.
Yeah. It's a bit difficult.
You know, you can boss them around. You can tell him.
You can. I do take instruction quite well.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold your head up. Yeah, beautiful.
And stay like that.
Yeah, exactly. OK.
With moving sitters and complex sets, it seems that starting over is the order of the day.
Where's the other painting?
I started again. I think I bit off too much for that I could chew. Way more than I could chew.
So one down. We know what we don't want to do.
Yeah. I think the character is very important to me, so I'm going to go for just a kind of head and shoulders view.
OK, so you focus in.
Yeah.
Nathan Lowry lives in Dublin and works as a 2D animator. His self-portrait in acrylics took 9 hours, and when he's not painting, he enjoys collecting crystals and rare coins.
It's really fabulous getting to watch you start a picture because you sort of take these planes, reduce them down, put them in these kind of contrasting colours.
I love applying colour to everything. It's just kind of like squinting and then seeing what colours kind of stand out.
So that's a good top tip. Start out by squinting, reduce everything down.
Especially that you mentioned the green eye makeup. I kind of want to incorporate that as well.
Well, enjoy it. It's already looking good.
Thanks.
So, Julie, when you saw Elizabeth coming around the corner...
I thought, what a beautiful woman in a beautiful red dress.
She's finding this very comfortable. So what happens next?
I've done my drawing, and I'm just laying down colours in the hair.
And you're working watercolours, which are sort of a high wire act, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. I've only been painting for a year.
You've only been painting for a year?
A year.
What? London-based Julie Wright has enjoyed a long career as an art director working in advertising. She started painting watercolours when she retired, but her former career still very much influences her artistic practice.
With all those years working in advertising, are you trying to sell us Elizabeth Day?
Yeah, of course.
And how do you do that?
Well, I've got to give you something, wow. You need a hook to sort of...
Have you found the hook?
No, yeah. Contemplating how to work the inscription on the cigarette case into the picture.
So where's it going to go?
I thought I'd sort of brand
Tattoo
it on
across
her
the floor.
forehead. Sorry.
We went to the same place.
Yeah, yeah.
Today's sitters were asked to bring with them something close to their hearts. And whilst artists are not required to include it, what it tells them about their sitter may inform their final portrait.
So my beloved grandfather was posted to Cairo during the Second World War. This cigarette case dates from that period, and there is a really beautiful love story attached to this period of his life. He met my grandmother once. They fell madly in love. They conducted their love affair via letter, and he proposed via telegram.
That's so romantic.
Yes, I know. And she then had to travel across occupied Europe to be with him in Cairo, and that's where they got married.
So, exuding Second World War romance. Wow.
Tell me about the object that you brought in with you. Is it required that you wear that?
So every racehorse owner has their own silk colours. However, for my specific race, a bespoke silk was made for each racer.
How did it feel?
Initially, I didn't think that it would suit me, and then I put it on and it just fit.
Are you allowed to wear it other than for the race?
Normally, silks are owned by the owner of the racehorse, so I guess you'd need their permission.
They wouldn't be pleased if they saw you going shopping in it.
It'd be free advertisements, I don't know.
So, Stinky, has he had his portrait painted before?
No, he hasn't.
Right.
Unsurprisingly.
You have another dog as well?
Yeah, I have Pig.
So I'm just imagining you now walking through a park shouting, Pig!
Yeah.
Stinky! Because my boy is 6, wants a dog, and he wants to call it Mr. Sparkle. And I'm not sure I could
would
walk
love
through
to
the
see
park
you.
shouting, Mr. Sparkle!
Yeah, I turn round, yes!
Objects, backgrounds and clothing can all help add interest to a portrait. But sometimes a sitter's posture can also tell a tale.
I've gone for a kind of 3/4 body composition of Elizabeth. I never really pay too much attention to the background, so the more space I've got around the person, the more it kind of highlights their silhouette. I really like the shape of the way she sits. I think it says a lot about her.
Morag Keister previously took part in Portrait Artist of the Year 2020, where she reached the semi-final, painting author Bernardine Evaristo. Since then, she's been experimenting with different media, combining her trademark line drawing technique with brightly coloured oils or pastels.
So, Morag, you start from the bottom. So now you've arrived at Elizabeth's head.
I'm not sure why I didn't do it first. To be honest, I kind of knew that her head was going to fit in there.
Is that because you did these preliminary studies?
Yeah, I had a few sketches to map her out a bit. I was maybe going to use the pastels if I used the canvas.
Oh, I see, okay.
So I'm just trying to figure out which one would be better. I decided to use the paint on paper in the end.
Well, so contrary. You were going to use the pastel if it was on canvas.
Yeah.
And the oil paint if it was on paper. You mean totally the... I like that. That's what makes you great. So please, carry on. I can't wait to see their head appear.
Artists working full length may face challenges when it comes to capturing the details of their sitter's face. But one artist has come up with a creative solution.
Khadija mentioned green was an important colour to her, but because I'm doing a full figure, it's going to be difficult to pick up the green eye makeup. So I've decided to put a big splash in the background for her instead.
Scottish-born Darren Kearney is a professional artist now living in South Tyneside. His full-length self-portrait in acrylic is typical of his style, which emphasises the highly detailed background of a painting. So today's set should pose no issues.
So, Darren, you're our full-length man. Do you always do the full length?
I try to. I think it gives a bit more of the person.
So that means you've got much smaller head. So does it make it harder? Because you've got to really get in there.
I suppose it does make it harder to make sure there is a likeness.
Yeah. You're obviously an artist who paints what's in front of him with your self-portrait. There's that lovely staircase to one side where the light's coming up.
I hope we'll see some similarities. I always try and use what's in front of me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I can see you've already picked up on that beautiful curve of the plinth base and then these wonderful sort of diamonds behind. And pretty much perfect sitter in the middle.
Yeah.
The artists are reaching the halfway point in today's competition, and Steve has completed his initial drawing and has now begun etching onto a Perspex plate.
I have this piece of black paper, so I put that between my pencil drawing and the Perspex. I can then see the marks I'm making. So far, it still resembles her, so that's good.
After the outline, I will get my paints mixed up for the skin tones, feeling the pressure, but I think it's going to be okay.
Nick!
Sorry.
Initially, I was just working from live, and then I've kind of semi-given up, so I'm checking constantly between him and the photo. Painting is always a bit of a challenge. Sometimes I'm comfortable. At the moment, I'm not.
2 hours have passed since our 9 artists began painting radio presenter Nick Grimshaw, jockey Kada Mela, and author Elizabeth Day.
Morag,
Yeah.
are you going to put my object in your painting?
I'm not sure if I'm going to directly paint it, but the story behind it definitely gives a bit of atmosphere.
That's what I hoped it would do.
Well, it was really nice the way you told the story. It's all kind of working together.
That's so lovely.
So we're halfway through. This place is buzzing with electricity, and it's delightful that Nick has brought his dog, but it's the section of perpetual motion. How hard is that for the artist?
It's impossible because his head keeps on moving in and out of the light.
Ruby is missing a maths test to be here today. How's she getting on with this examination?
She's doing a great job. The likeness has gone a little bit with the paint application, but she got it so quickly that I think a little bit of tweaking she'll get Nick back. And there's a kind of idealised version of him coming.
I think Maud's caught this lovely dynamic between owner and dog, and the colours are beautiful. I just hope that time's on her side this afternoon and that she can show us the Nick that she's really, really searching for.
Preslav is like Maud painting from life. He likes that Nick is moving around. He's enjoying that.
Yeah, I think Preslav finds character in that movement. What I find fascinating is he's doing all of it in an abstracted sense.
Fascinating that he's not wearing his glasses.
Who's Stinky? Khadijah's sitting very still, but with the headscarf, the jockey's hat, the scarf around the neck. Is that challenging for an artist?
I think the artists have all been quite inspired by Khadijah's props, actually. She's got such a beautiful, warm presence about her as well.
Darren's taken the note about the green eye makeup and projected it onto the wall. Is that working?
I hadn't actually noticed that Darren had changed the colour. The whole thing was working so well for me that I didn't mind. We don't need that much more in the face and she'll really be sat there.
Nathan started quite well, I thought, and then started again.
I think Nathan's caught up. He's found a sort of angularity, and his colours are beautiful. There's a crispness to his portrait of Khadijah.
Nathan's really intensely on the face, whereas Anne's leaving the face to the end, which is unusual in a portrait competition. So I can't really tell if there's a likeness. I can't really tell where we're headed.
Elizabeth's brought that cigarette case with a fabulously romantic story attached to it. It's been incorporated, but not necessarily literally.
Yeah, and I think it's OK if the artists don't incorporate it literally, because just in listening to the way in which Elizabeth told that story, they would have got an insight into her character, her values, and that tells them so much.
Julie spent this early part of the day looking for a hook. Did she find it?
I think without realising it, in that Elizabeth is a listener. And there's something about the tilt of the head that Julie's chosen, which I think is rather marvellous. It's really caught something about Elizabeth.
I really felt for Steve when he suddenly realised I didn't flip the image. It was such a simple error. The drawing's correct. I'm just wondering when that magic happens and it turns into the fabulous thing that we saw in the submission.
I am always fascinated by Morag's approach. It's a kind of controlled chaos.
The way she works with the sinuous line and working with that colour in the background, it's a really good combination.
Well, the portraits continue of our four sitters.
Sorry, I had to think. There goes the dog.
It's a very interesting experience. It's very strange watching other people dissect what you look like. I'm suddenly very hyper-aware of my own features. If I have like a super wonky face, I'm going to be really upset.
I've really loved seeing the artists' work. I have loved getting to know Julie. I feel an energetic connection with Morag. And then Steve has just been telling me that I'm difficult because I don't have enough wrinkles, but that's the best compliment ever as a 43-year-old.
There's nothing that I am hoping they don't capture. I would like them to look like me, but also I'd be happy if they didn't look like me as well. You know, I think you just want to capture an essence of me and this maniac's personality.
Today's objects are inspiring the artists in their own unique way.
Julie, tell me about the cigarette case.
What I'm going to do is...
I don't want to hear.
Oh, Elizabeth doesn't want to know.
I want it to be a surprise.
Sorry.
I'm going to put it inscribed into the blue, Cairo, and the initials.
OK, fabulous. So there's still a whole new chapter of the painting to come.
Oh, yes.
Darren, there's a few bits, the shirt and the scarf, which have got incredibly complicated patterns. Are you going to keep the shirt as simple as that?
No, I'll try and put in, if not actual shapes of the butterflies, at least the colours. For me, it's the face is the most important part, as long as it looks
Well,
like
look, the face is very beautiful, so I'll let you get on with getting it more.
So, Maud, Stinky is unformed at the moment.
I am not familiar with the bone structure, so he's looking a bit like jelly.
Also, he's got that wonderful sort of underbite. It looks like you're going for a closed mouth. You're going to neaten him up a bit. I think that's how he'd like to be painted.
Elegant.
Yeah, a bit more elegant. I like his master. The afternoon can be a time to refine features and add highlights. But some still have a way to go.
Finally getting into the painting the face, quite ironic in the last hour of a portrait painting show. But yeah, it was time for the glasses to come out. I guess I look less cool now, but I need to actually see his face to paint it, so needs must.
Morag, you've had us on tenterhooks, mixing those reds, and now all this frenetic energy. It feels right. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it feels right.
You're so much in your own zone, aren't you?
I mean, I usually work fast, maybe not this fast, but
We're all behind you, literally.
Less than an hour of painting time remains.
I really wanted to get that silk in, but I've just taken a few of the butterflies off my shirt and I'm putting them in the background. And I'll do them the quickest that I've ever painted butterflies in my life.
I'm definitely happy that I started second painting. I think this one kind of captures her essence a bit more. The time is kind of overwhelming, so my mind is running. It's crazy.
So we wind it through. Quite happy with that one.
So now into black. Is
Now
that
into
the
black.
next phase?
Yes, if I've got the time now.
It's not that
we'll
much
see.
time left.
No, I know.
The artists are putting the finishing touches on their portraits of jockey Kada Mela, radio presenter Nick Grimshaw, and author Elizabeth Day. And with only moments to go, it's all hands on deck.
Pull. That's it. Oh, this is the moment. You realise if you win, I get some of the credit.
Yeah.
It did it.
I think I'd give myself more time for the background looking back, because I kind of hate the colour now. But, you know.
I think I'll get the dress done. It's the face I'm starting to worry about.
Artists, you have 5 minutes to go.
Jeez, my heart is racing.
So much to do, not enough time.
Artists, your time is up.
Put down your equipment and stand away from your easels.
Good work, guys.
Oh, beautiful. Did you like it?
After posing for 4 hours, the sitters will now get to see the completed portraits and choose their favourite to take home with them.
Right, you ready?
I don't know if I am, actually.
It's a lovely moment. Artists, can I ask you please to turn your easels?
Oh my God, bear with me. I actually feel really emotional. Wow. Thank you so much, each and every one of you.
Got me going as well. Let's have a closer look, shall we?
Okay.
Morag.
I love that it was oil on paper, which is such a distinct kind of texture to it. And I love the floating chair and the black lines. It's just so stunning.
You were really lovely to paint.
Oh, I'm actually going to cry.
Julie's watercolour.
Oh, Julie, I so love how you've honoured the cigarette case. And I think you've made me look amazing, which is very generous of you. I can't believe you've only been painting for a year, you said. It's gorgeous.
Thank you, Julie. And finally, Steve.
I completely recognise myself here, but it's utterly unique at the same time.
Right.
You've been very flattering with my cheekbones, too.
No, I think they're definitely there. I was hoping I'd get an old man, to be
Oh,
honest.
I know, I'm sorry.
But,
I'm so pleased you stuck with me. Thank
no,
you.
it's been an absolute pleasure.
OK, so I'm going to make you choose now.
I wish I could take them all. But I am going to go with Morag's, if that's okay. Thank you so much. Have a good
Nick, so shall we turn the easels round now?
I feel scared. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. They're incredible. They're amazing. Thanks, guys. They've definitely captured Stinky's manicness.
Right, let's come and meet the artist.
Let's take a look. I love this mod. I think it's really, really special. I love all the colours. That's what I want my hair like every day. So that might be my new reference at the hairdressers. Can I have this painting? It's really vivid, and like the eyes, it like looks like my mum, which is weird. And I love Stinky as well. I like the way looking off in different directions.
It's rather poetic, isn't it?
It is. It looks
Yeah.
like I maybe sit at home and don't watch the telly all the time. I feel like you've done a sort of modernised version of those old classic portraits here. It's really beautiful.
So now,
Mhm.
the moment of truth.
Oh, God, I actually don't know. This is why I was rubbish on X Factor. I think I'm going to go for Preslav's. That's really amazing. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, my heart is racing.
Your heart's racing.
I bet their hearts are racing too. Artists, can I ask you to turn your easels?
Oh my God. Oh, wow. Wow.
It's overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, there's such different takes on who I am. I love it. There's so many different colours and a very creative angle on my scarf.
You look regal. There's something magisterial about
Yeah, I
you.
feel I'm getting very powerful vibes. It's reassuring that you feel that energy from me.
I'm glad you like it.
This is incredible. Again, I look quite powerful.
I like the fact that you've taken the green eye makeup and put it onto the background.
It was important to me to highlight my Algerian and Kenyan background, so I really appreciate that. I can't believe you produced this in 4 hours. I feel like if I was walking past this, it really captured my attention. I'm obsessed with the butterflies. Seriously cool.
Here we go, then.
Oh my God, I don't think I can choose. Oh no.
Would it help if I waved a flag, like pretend you were in a race?
I really do want to choose everyone. All right. Darren, I think I choose you.
Our artists can now relax and reflect on their experience.
So who was yours that did it? Nick Grimshaw. It was like a weird full circle moment because we always listened to him in art lessons. So it was like, oh, I feel at home.
But the judges' work is only just beginning.
I'm really glad that Steve went for the black and white version in the end. It allowed him to play most effectively with the light, and I think he got Elizabeth's age right.
Yeah.
I think Julie's choice of how to use the prop is so sophisticated, and I really like the way that the face developed as she put down more layers.
I think Morag is a phenomenal draftsperson, that she understands what line can do. And the beautifully unfinished face with those really wrong colours. But without them, it wouldn't work, would it?
No. Preslav's given us an entire story. We've got Nick Grimshaw transposed to an earlier era, but it's still so convincing. It's a great kind of quirky little painting.
Ruby, I love the way she works with colour. We saw it in her self-portrait as well. The greenness of Stinky there is quite something.
Maud's version of Nick is totally romantic, Byron-esque.
And I love the way that it all just sort of hovers just in focus, like it's all behind smoke.
I love Anne's composition. The shorthand on the shawl is really remarkable, but I think the likeness is wanting, so maybe starting with the head would have helped.
I don't really know how Darren's managed to do so much, and yet none of it's crowding each other out. I love the trainers, and there's a lovely likeness to her.
I think Nathan did remarkably well. It's got this fantastic coloration, and there's a sort of beautiful harmony that is so unusual.
Before choosing today's winner, the judges must decide which 3 artists will go through to the next stage.
Artists, thank you for all your hard work and indeed talent. We've loved watching your work today.
The judges have arrived at their shortlist of 3. The first artist is Morag Keister.
The second artist is Darren Kearney.
The third artist to be shortlisted is Preslav Kostov.
Definitely feeling a sense of relief. All the weight has been lifted off my shoulders. It was a great experience and definitely glad I got to take part.
The shortlisted artists' original submissions are now considered alongside their work today, as a reminder to the judges of what they can do with less pressure and more time.
Well, congratulations. Your choices are completely in sync with our sitters. Was it that obvious?
No, I mean, I think we had a lot of artists who had a couple of false starts, so it was a slightly complicated day of portrait making, I'd say.
Darren has given us a very characterful portrait.
It is interesting seeing both the submission and today's painting together. He's so good at creating a scene.
They're both very full and complete paintings, and they really tell a story.
But I think it's made by the angle of her eye. That's really insightful.
He caught that sidewards glance that she had. It was very mischievous.
Elizabeth had a very emotional reaction to Morag's painting. What impressed you about it?
She's able to make us think about hair, clothes, flesh tones, but all of it is disconnected and slightly abrupt.
Everything with Morag is floating in space, but is it over-stylized?
I feel a bit the opposite of what you're saying, because I think it's the lack of surround. It makes the thing sculptural. It makes the thing all about the body itself.
Is it finished?
Yes, for me, I wouldn't want to see anything else.
Yeah. I think Morag's paintings are always finished and unfinished.
You could stop her at any time, you're saying, and you would have a great painting.
Yes, in a sense, there is that.
It's a fine portrait by Preslav. Nick looks like a villain from 101 Dalmatians, 101 Pugs.
I think it's kind of interesting how we got Nick as a Dickensian louche figure, but as a story, it's fantastic.
I recognise the dog, but I don't recognise Nick Grimshaw.
I think that Preslav isn't necessarily interested in a precise portrait. I think he's more interested in a sense of mood. And I think if I were Nick, I'd really enjoy watching myself become more and more like it as time went by.
And I'd still take it home and have it as a portrait of me. I think it's that good.
So, is there a clear winner?
I think we've got three really good artists. I think we need to sit down and work out who we want to see go forward.
Yeah.
Preslav, Morag, Darren, you've each done outstandingly well to make it to the shortlist, but as you well know, only one can go forward to the semi-final.
The artists that the judges have selected captured a poetic and tender portrait of their sitter. That artist is Morag Keister.
It really means a lot to go through again.
Congratulations, wonderful.
The whole day has just been like a little bit separated from my actual mind, but it feels amazing.
I think Morag's painting was great. I kind of was rooting for that one to get through. I think it's really well deserved.
Morag's painting was fantastic. Definitely a worthy winner.
Morag's a really exciting young artist. I love the quality of her paint application. I like the unusual nature of the sinuous line that she gives us. For the semi-final, she needs to give us another great portrait, and I'm confident that she's capable of doing it.
To go to the semi-final again is just... I can't actually believe I'm saying those words. I'm really happy.